Welcome to All Right in Sin City. This recording takes place in our respective homes because we're in the era of social distancing. So our featured guest today is Fartumo Kusow. Born in Somalia, Fartumo Kusow immigrated to Canada in 1991 at the start of the Civil War. Her second novel, Tale of a Boon's Wife, was published in 2017 by Second Story Press, and it's her debut novel in English. Set in the 15-year period before Somalia's civil war, Tale of a Boon's Wife focuses on a young Somali woman whose decision to marry the man she loves in defiance of tradition and her family's wishes transforms her life in very difficult ways. The novel has received some wonderfully positive reviews. Fartumo Kusow is a mother of 5 and she lives in Windsor, Ontario. Welcome, Fartumo.
Thank you, thank you.
Fartumo, when did you first know that you wanted to be a writer?
I think me wanting a writer became out of necessity, I think. Gives it to me. My father looks at it and she says, please tell me you didn't say this. And I said, I did. Everybody's talking about why am I only picking me? And you have to get me back to school. I can't miss 3 days. And then from that day on, he said, because I said, people gossip. And he said, but that's just a gossip. And I said, why would they say it's not true? And he says, just because that's how people work. They say things that are not true and you're not supposed to tell. And he couldn't convince me. Then he gave me a notebook and he said, take this notebook, anything people gossip, write it down. And show it to me night after that, then I'll tell you if it's okay. So it's like stupid things like, so-and-so said so-and-so is fat, so-and-so said whatever. And he said, surely this is not a nice thing to do. So a few weeks in, I decided I might as well write stories. What's the point of this? So I think I started writing when I was maybe 12 or 13 and had my first publication when I was accepted when I was 15. But she was really, really fantastic storyteller. She had all these stories that she would tell us at night because there's no TV or nothing. So we would sit after we did homework and she would tell us those stories. And some of them she heard when she was young and some of them I could tell she made it up. Students in universities were very interested in the idea because they could see how the connection is made, especially I went to University of Iowa because that university is using as part of their texts for gender and ethnicity studies department. So they were really, really very interested in understanding how the work and the complexities and the difference between, and most of them found difficult that somebody who lives in Africa, people that are all African, that all live in Africa, has this kind of like dichotomy of saying this person is less than me because of what they look like or because of the type of jobs they do. That was fascinating to them. And I found the people who are from Somalia, who are maybe my age or a little bit older, resented the idea because they thought, it was kind of like, that's that.
Fartumo, you've been quoted as saying that writing is your social activism. How is activism expressed through your fiction writing?
It's, and that's, I think, one other drawback that I suffer is that I can't really write those romantic, beautiful, feel-good books. Because I'm not built, I don't think, I always admire those people that when something happens, they can always get on and they can set, GoFundMe page and they do this and they collect money and they fundraising. If somebody emailed and said, oh, we're collecting money, I can do that part, but I'm never like, that's a really good idea. How does she think that? It never really clicks on me. But I think in my writing, I always like to write about issues that we don't want to talk about. Issues that are challenges faced by women, mainly challenges faced by people that are prejudiced or pushed or othered somehow or another. So I think I'm hoping that my writing would be my part of saying, this is what's wrong with our society and this is what we could work on. And I think